All right, 9 months ago, I quit all other productivity apps to use only Apple apps. Here's how it went. So Apple's system is really simple. There's only 3 apps. There's Apple Calendar, Apple Notes, and Apple Reminders. They pretty much drive the entire ship forward. One of the things you notice right off the bat is that Apple apps just work. And I think that's the best thing about this ecosystem is that you can rely on it. I'm just going to focus on how I specifically use them in the given domains in my life. I think that's a better demonstration of what going all in on this productivity system really entails. Okay, medicine. For tasks related to my medical career and medical school, I put all of my reminders in the Reminders app. A lot of the time I have my work email open on my computer and I can just in split screen drag and drop the email into the Reminders app and it works pretty seamlessly. It also generates a little blue mail icon to serve as a link back to that email when I want to actually deal with what I saw. I really like this feature. I use it at least once a day and it's pretty robust. It works not only with this app, but also other Apple apps as well. When it comes to subcategorizing tasks, I use tags and smart folders. I'll go over that a little bit later. That's something that I really like and a lot of people don't really make use of in Reminders. So calendar, I have a very variable schedule in medical school. I'm always switching up rotations, switching up hospitals, switching up where my clinic sites are. And so it's hard for me to get into a routine. So one of the things that calendar does really well, at least Apple Calendar, that I love is the travel time feature. You can kind of put in like the location that you're going to, your starting point, which takes a little bit of setup, but it also puts into your calendar a little visual reminder that you have a 45-minute commute or an hour-and-a-half commute or a 15-minute commute. And for me, I'm sometimes having all of those in the same week. And so it's really nice to be able to see things so that I don't overload my schedule with tasks that I can't fit in. Another benefit of using Apple Calendar is that when I used to use Google Calendar doesn't work with Outlook on some health system networks. Like when I was in my research here, I couldn't access the Outlook calendar and subscribe to it with Google because of the security precautions, given that there's like patient health information and stuff like that. Thankfully, Apple works, and that's just another testament to how reliable and robust this system actually is. Okay, regarding notes, when I was going through sub-internships this summer, I would oftentimes have to read about cases and surgeries that I'd never seen before. So what I would do is I would find the appropriate PDF or tutorial or textbook chapter and just drag and import it directly into Apple Notes. I really like that Apple Notes can handle pretty much any sort of media that you throw at it. It can handle links, it can handle videos. It's pretty good. There are some limitations with the notes, especially when it comes to studying, however, like if you're searching something in your Notes app, although Apple Notes does have image recognition, handwriting recognition, it doesn't actually point you to where in the note that given phrase is. And when you're importing 30 to 40 page textbook chapters, you want to be able to find it quickly instead of knowing that it's in the PDF and not knowing exactly where it is. It's like a weird behavior. Hopefully they update that with iOS 18, but that's kind of hampered Apple's ability to serve all of my medical needs in the Notes app. Another limitation is when I'm having meetings with my mentor for research and I want to create a note that has a space where I can take some ideas down or any thoughts during that meeting, I can't link that Apple Note with the calendar event. And that's like a weird behavior because they're native apps. They should work really well together. But the fact that you can't generate links to Apple Notes in 2024 is a little bit of a letdown. And then finally, when you're working with Apple Notes, it's just helpful to know that once those notes are in there, it's really hard to get them back out of Apple Notes. So overall for medicine, Apple's productivity system has been almost perfect. I would say the Notes is probably the weakest front, but overall I've been able to get through just fine, and plenty of residents that I've spoken to still use Apple Notes for medicine, so it works. It's not perfect, but it works. Personal life. Okay, not much to show here. I think calendars is perfect for your personal life. The fact that I can share events with my family, with my partner, with friends so that they can see my calendar. A lot of us use iOS devices anyway, and so being in that ecosystem makes it really straightforward and simple. I like that in the Reminders app, I can quickly just speak into my voice assistant and get a reminder down within seconds. I think no other third-party app can replicate that speed, and that alone kind of keeps me going back to Reminders for all of my personal tasks. I mean, I run my entire life out of Apple Reminders, professional and personal. It's just kind of perfect. Like I can just say I need to clean this, or I need to go buy this, or I need to drop off clothes at the dry cleaner, and it just stores it. Notes is really amazing, again, for personal life. The stakes aren't as high in my day-to-day, so I don't need to find information within a few seconds or I'll be judged for it like I am in the hospital. And if I have a certain project like building this desk over here or something, I can manage that through Apple Notes and I don't really need to go to another software for that. Overall, the beauty of this system, especially for your personal life, is that it forces you to think simplistically, and that's really effective for getting things done. And the third domain of my life is this channel, which is arguably the most complex workflow. It certainly entails way more than I thought when I initially started. So how do I make Apple Reminders work as a complex task manager? And the simple answer is tags and smart folders. Now, if you look at a software like Notion, they have all these tags and multi-select and other tools to help you subcategorize tasks. That's essentially what tags are in Reminders. And you can use smart folders to create essentially filtered lists of a given subtype or subcategory. And when I started messing around with this about like 3 months ago, I realized that everything that I could achieve with Notion, I can actually do in the native Apple ecosystem. And I think that's the most important thing to take away from this video, is that you don't really need to go for more complex things in 99% of cases. You can make Apple Reminders as complicated as you want, but the way I've structured it for YouTube is I have each video be its own list, and I have a template that generates like a list of like 25 or so tasks that have to happen with every video. Each of those tasks is then automatically tagged with editing or filming or scripting. And then I use smart folders to generate sublists that are called filming, scripting, etc. That way, all of the tasks across all of my projects can be shown in a single list pertaining to the type of task that it is. So if I've used my calendar to time block some time to script, then I can pull up my to-do list of all of my scripting tasks and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, get all my scripts done and be done for the day. And that saves me 10 times as much time as the old way, which is make a video idea and then do all of the tasks for that video and then post. Now, as I'm thinking about working in systems and in batches, having this structure is really nice, and being able to visualize it really easily is even better. It looks busy, and as I mentioned, it's definitely a little stressful, but that feeling of deleting a list once you've completed everything is unmatched. Okay, Apple Notes. Apple Notes is where I have the scripts, the thumbnail ideas, the titles, and the research that goes into a project. Each project, again, gets its own folder. Each subcategory of that production process has its own page. And I use a landing page type feature to just stratify links to each page so I can quickly refer to things. I also have a nice overall production dashboard that has everything across all of my active video projects so I can see. And then a brainstorm page. So is this system technically faster than using a Notion template and just hitting new video and having everything populate? No, even with automations, it still takes me about 3 minutes to set up everything for a new video. But given that I use Apple Reminders to run my entire life, I'm okay with paying this upfront time cost of 3 minutes per video. There's no perfect answer, but for me, knowing that everything that I need to do is going to be in the same spot every single time keeps me moving a lot better than if I had to use different apps. All of this is extremely durable. I mean, the thing that I've learned over the past 9 months is that it's easy for me to stay consistent with the system because there's so little management that goes into it. Now, overall, am I sticking with the Apple productivity system? Yes. Is it the most efficient way to do things? Maybe not. Is it the prettiest? Maybe not. Is it the most feature rich? Maybe not. But at the end of the day, it just works. Also, Apple will undoubtedly release new updates with iOS 18 and beyond, and I'd rather invest in an ecosystem that I know is going to get continued love throughout my life. It's really all about understanding the software that you use, and you only really gain that knowledge the more time you spend within a given software. If you learned something and you want to see more from me, definitely hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.